Welcome back everyone to the video, and today we're making our week 7 picks. Now, right now on the screens are week 6 picks. We did pretty well, only 3 losses. We missed the Thursday night football game, and then we missed the Broncos and Chargers, and then the Monday night football game, which I'm a little annoyed about because that was one of my upset picks, and the Jets really should have won that game. You left 6 points on the board with their kicker missing 2 kicks. And yeah, I don't know, a little annoyed. I would have liked the upset pick they were to go our way, but still, much better than their first, I think, 2 weeks. I think week 1 was fine, and then week 2 and 3 is rough, and then after that we've been on a bit of a hot streak. So hoping to continue that now this week. We have a lot of really good games to look at, so we're gonna do it right now. Before we do though, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel for weekly picks just like this for every single NFL game. I also do NFL team and player rankings. We do draft content when the draft's around, and just any other miscellaneous NFL videos. So if you like the NFL, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. It is free. Take just a second, and we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. For this video, though, we're making our Week 7 picks. There's a lot of really tough games to really get into here, so we're just going to jump right into it. So first off is the Thursday night football game between the Broncos and the Saints in New Orleans. And I got to say, I was like literally setting my stuff up to record, pressing the record button, and then I get a notification saying that Rashid Shaheed for the Saints might be out for the year with his meniscus surgery. Once the surgery starts, like literally while they are operating on him, they'll have to decide whether he needs a full meniscus repair, which would mean the entire season would be when how long he's out for, or if it's like a trim, he could be back in a few weeks. Regardless, though, he is now out Thursday night, and Chris Olave is now out Thursday night. So, not gonna lie, I have the Saints picked for this game, but now I'm sitting here thinking like, well, Spencer Rattler is most likely starting with no Chris Olave and no Rashid Shaheed, and I believe Alvin Kamara is questionable. So, I don't know. Like, I'm just going to pick the Saints because what I originally did, literally up until, like, again, 45 seconds ago, that will probably age poorly, but I'm going to stick it out. Maybe it's one of those games where Spencer Rattler just has one of those weird rookie performances. You know the ones I'm talking about, just like the random games that a team shouldn't win, but yet they do. And the Broncos, they really aren't a super strong team for me. They are very, very hit or miss. The Saints defense is not nearly as banged up as the offense, so I still think that the Saints defense can slow down Bo Nix and the Broncos offense, which has not been super hard to do for a few teams this year. But yeah, a bit of a fun pick here. I'm picking Spencer Rattler. We'll see what he can do. Will that happen? I don't know, but we're just going to stick with it. Next is the game in London, the Patriots and the Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars played in London last week, so they do have the advantage of already being there for a week, but they have the disadvantage of being a terrible team. To be fair, though, the Patriots aren't much better, but I don't know what to really go with here. I think being in London for a week, it is a big advantage. I mean, even though the Jaguars haven't been very good this year, it is a big advantage over their opponent. But I'm picking the Patriots. Drake May game 2. I love what I saw in game 1. If you guys didn't see it, I did a video talking about Drake May's debut, so go check that video out. But I love what I saw. I think he's going to build on it. The Patriots offense is not that good, but the weapons are better than what they looked like with Jacoby Brissett in there. Are they going to make the playoffs? No, but I think they can get this win. I think they can really surprise some people. I'm excited to see Drake May in this game, and I'm picking him to beat the Jaguars there in London. Next is the Bengals and the Browns. This is one of those games that I think the Bengals are the better team. However, they have a very bad track record at winning in Cleveland. And at this point, I don't know if you could pay me to pick Deshaun Watson to actually win a game. I mean, honestly, just like $10 and I would do it. But you get what I mean. Like, the Browns are really, really bad. And now Watson loses Amari Cooper in a trade. So it's like, if Watson wasn't good with Amari Cooper, not sure why he'd be any better, without Amari Cooper. So I'm picking the Bengals. I know that's a streak that has held up where they just cannot win in Cleveland, but I'm not picking Deshaun Watson. If I'm wrong because Watson plays well and they win, oh well. But I'm not picking him. I'm picking the Bengals to win that game. Next is the Seahawks and the Falcons. This is one of the tougher games for me to pick this week, at least in my opinion. I like the Seahawks a lot. I was very disappointed in their performance last Thursday night. Geno Smith did not look himself. A lot of turnover-worthy plays, and then a couple turnovers that, actually were turnovers. I'm going to pick the Falcons. I think they are quite good. They're in Atlanta. I like that Kirk Cousins has some rhythm going right now, and that offense is starting to click a little bit more now that we're a few games, or not a few, like 5, 6 games into the season now. So I am going to pick the Falcons there, but that game could really go either way for me. I just don't like what I saw from Geno. Could he bounce back on the road? Yeah, it's possible, but I'm willing to ride the hot hand more, which I think is Kirk Cousins and that Falcons offense. So I'm picking the Falcons there. Next is the Titans and the Bills. I'm picking the Bills. Not sure anybody have any objections to that. They just got Amari Cooper. I think even without Amari Cooper, they probably still win by like 15 points. So I'm picking the Bills in that game. Next is the Texans and the Packers. I'm going to pick the Texans. Again, this is one that was very, very tough for me to pick. I like what I saw from Jordan Love last week, and the Packers are a great team, but I just love the Texans. I love what I see from the Texans. No Nico Collins. I'm not going to let that really affect my pick. Will it hurt their offense? Sure. But last week, they put up 41 points on the Patriots. Are the Patriots a great team? No, but 41 points is still 41 points without your number one wide receiver. I believe in the Texans. I love their defense as well. I love that Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson pass rush. I think they can get to Jordan Love, make him uncomfortable, may force a couple turnovers, and really start to kind of stack up the points. I think it will be close, though. I think the Packers can definitely keep it close. But I do trust, I think, C.J. Stroud in that offense more than I trust Jordan Love in that offense. And I also like the Texans' defense more. So for me, it's just a poor matchup, but I think it could be a good game still. I'm picking the Texans there, though. Next, the Dolphins and the Colts. I'm picking the Colts. Dolphins, pretty bad. Still no Tua, so that offense is just greatly hindered. Colts haven't been great either, but I had to pick the better of two not great teams. So I'm picking the Colts in that one. And this game I am super excited for. Lions and the Vikings. In Minneapolis, I'm going to pick the Vikings here. I've picked them, I believe, in every game this year except maybe one. But I mean, I love what I've seen from the Vikings this year. Their offense has been fantastic. Their defense has been, I mean, fantastic as well. Like, there really aren't a lot of weaknesses on this team right now. I'm just praying everyone can stay healthy there because the Vikings have a bad history of being quite good and then having a devastating injury that then wrecks their season. So I'm hoping this can keep going for them. Speaking of devastating injuries, though, Lions now without Aiden Hutchinson for the rest of the year. Really nasty leg break. Absolutely awful to see. I think he is supposed to make a return by next season, so I hope he comes back healthy and, you know, still has that same explosiveness. But for this season, that is a big missing piece for the Lions. And no matter who they go out and sign for a veteran piece for depth or whatever, you cannot make up for that loss of production. It's a big loss. Again, I think the Lions are a great team. Does this mean they can't win the Super Bowl? No. I've heard some people say that they can't win without Aiden Hutchinson. I disagree with that. I think it is harder for them to win, but I don't think it's just all of a sudden season over because Hutchinson's hurt. I think it greatly hurts your pass rush. The Lions, I think, are way too good of a team to say they are all of a sudden done for the year because of Hutchinson's injury. So I think this will be a very good game. I'm super excited for it, but I'm picking the Vikings to stay undefeated and beat the Lions there. At home. So next is Saquon Barkley's revenge game, and I'm picking the Eagles. I'm not picking against Saquon Barkley returning to New York. Could this be a good game? Honestly, yeah. I think the Giants have stayed in games a bit more than I and a lot of people have given them credit for, or at least thought they would. But again, this is Saquon coming back to New York. I think he's going to put on a clinic, like 120 plus total yards. And maybe even multiple touchdowns. So I'm picking the Eagles there. Next is the Panthers and the Commanders. I'm picking the Commanders. I really would be surprised if the Commanders get less than 30 points on this Panthers defense, to be perfectly honest with you. There's really, you know, the Panthers have, 6 sacks total this year? Yeah, it's a pretty bad time to be a fan. Picking the Commanders, Jay Daniels is awesome. I think he will absolutely dot up that defense. Picking the Commanders there in Washington. Next is the Raiders and the Rams. I'm going to pick the Rams here. The Raiders have just a lot to figure out. You know, that they had to get rid of Devontae Adams. Your quarterback is just so up in the air, whether it's O'Connell or Minshew. I don't think it matters because both are pretty bad. You have guys like Max Crosby, that's, you know, great player. You have the rookie Brock Bowers, who's been very, very good. Like, you have the pieces on this team, and in my opinion at least, I think as a Raiders fan, there'd be enough there for me to be like, okay, we have some pieces to build around. It's just not our time yet. Which, you know what? There's worse spots to be in because the Panthers fan, there's not even a lot of those players to think we could build around at this point. But for the Raiders, I think you are in an okay spot for where you should be right now. Go get your quarterback next year. But right now, I'm picking the Rams. And then next is the other game I'm super excited for, which is the Chiefs and the 49ers. And I'm picking the 49ers here in San Francisco. This game should be fantastic. This is a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. First game, I believe, for the Chiefs with no Rashee Rice, I'm pretty sure. So, I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see how this matches up because of, you know, great 49ers defense, of course. but a very good Chiefs defense as well, and a 49ers offense that has kind of been caught lacking at times this year. Still no Christian McCaffrey. I think it'll be a great game, but I think the 49ers do pull it off and finally snap the Chiefs' unbeaten streak. So I'm picking them in San Francisco. And another game super excited for. Honestly, looking at this, it's such a good slate of games this Sunday. A lot of like fun storylines that are kind of lining up this week. But for the Jets versus Steelers, primetime football. Let me tell you something. They just added Devontae Adams. So am I more inclined to pick them? Absolutely. But for me, the actual deal breaker in this game, for me not picking the Steelers, is them benching Fields. I don't understand this at all. If you're a Steelers fan, maybe try and help me understand, or maybe you don't understand either. Just comment down below. I don't know. But, like, why would you bench the quarterback that is younger, has a higher ceiling, is a better runner, and has only turned the ball over, like, once, and you're 4-2? Why would you bench him for an older quarterback who you're not really owing any money to? I don't get it. I really don't get it at all. Because even if Wilson goes out there and sucks, which I think he will, you know, you put Fields back in, you just disrupted this dude's rhythm and like all of his momentum he's been building. I don't get this at all. Really stupid coach's decision there, at least in my opinion. I don't get it. But yeah, I'm picking the Jets. I'm not picking Russell Wilson in primetime football to make his season debut on a new team. No way. I'm picking the Jets. If I'm proven wrong there, props to Russell Wilson, but I'm not picking him. Picking the Jets in that one. Next is the Cardinals and the Chargers. I hate this game because these are two teams that I have not picked well at all this year. I have picked the Cardinals to win when they lose, and vice versa for the Chargers. It's just very annoying. I'm going to pick the Cardinals here. I don't know if I'm super confident in that, to be honest. This is a game, if I was betting money, I would not go near this game. I would go elsewhere, go to a different game. I think it'll be very close, but I just don't know what to expect. There's games where the Cardinals offense looks awesome, and there's games like last week where it looks like they were playing, you know, it was like they were a JV offense pulling like a Division I college football team. It was horrible. So I don't really know what to expect. I'm going to pick the Cardinals. I think they have the higher ceiling on offense. Their defense is a little rough. I'm not really in love with the Chargers defense either, though. So I'm just going with the offense I feel more comfortable in, which happens to be the Cardinals. Although the Chargers last week did have a great showing on offense. It's just like, do I think they'll follow that up with another great performance on offense? I don't really know. I'm picking the Cardinals there. The final game of the week, though, is the Ravens and the Buccaneers. I think this will be a great game. And to be honest, I picked the Buccaneers at first because I love what I've seen from them. But Lamar has a very good record in primetime football, and the Ravens are a great team. Derrick Henry is playing out of his mind right now. I can't pick against that. I think it'll be a great game, and I wouldn't be entirely surprised if the Buccaneers win this game, but I just don't feel good about picking against what the Ravens are showing right now. So, but that's going to kind of do for my week picks. Let me know down below who your guys' favorite team is, what I got right, what I got wrong, whatever you guys think for your week picks. I would really appreciate all the support there. I think there's a couple games that I think could go either way, and that is the Ravens game, that is the Chiefs game, that is the Lions game, and that is the Packers game. Those are the ones I think could really turn in any direction, and really even the Seahawks game as well. So we got some good games this week. Hopefully we can keep our hot streak alive with our picks. Thank you guys for watching. I do really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.